Hey there, Keto Marnie here. It is Thursday, and I decided that I'm going to just answer some questions in a video. I didn't realize how far behind I am on comments. Oh my gosh, I feel I feel so bad. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I feel so bad for being so far behind on comments. So I went ahead and went through the last few videos that I have not commented on yet and decided to pick out some questions and just answer them like this. So the first one, let's see, and I don't have up here which videos they're from, but let's see. Denise Hoffman asked if I've ever tried stuffed pumpkin or squash, and the answer is yes. Years ago, I made a stuffed acorn squash. I don't remember what kind of recipe I used. I just remember that I loved it. It turned out so good, and yes, it did make the house smell amazing. And eventually I would like to do that again. I never think about it, but yeah, I would like to do that again. And maybe even use a pie pumpkin. Let's see. Voon Boonchal asked me how to sew the strings in the back of a project. So you just take your yarn needle and thread the string, and then just kind of weave it in and out, back and forth. I'm a little bit overkill on mine. I like to make sure that they are in there good. Maybe one of these days, if I think about it or remember, I will just do like a little video on how I do that. So Gloria asked what brand of pumpkin spice coffee I was using in one of the videos, and I don't really know what brand it is. I got it from Aldi. Yeah, I wasn't going there to get coffee, but it jumped out at me, and I hadn't seen any pumpkin spice coffees except for the expensive ones at Walmart, so I figure I better go ahead and get one while I'm at Aldi. And I always like their seasonal coffees. Every year I used to wait for Aldi to come out with their Christmas coffees, which they usually had like a peppermint mocha, white chocolate mocha, and gingerbread. And those were the three that I always got every year. I don't know if they still have them. It's been a while since I've had them, but I'm probably going to look for them again. Let's see. Moriana, Yarnin and Darnin, asked yesterday if my pitcher was glass or plastic. It's plastic, unfortunately. I bought it years ago, and I know plastic is... I really don't like to use plastic when it comes to putting hot things in them, because the, I guess, chemicals and stuff that they let off when there's heat applied, and I use boiling water. But yeah, it's plastic. I know, unfortunate. One of these days, I want to get one of those fancy schmancy kettles. Adagio Teas has the kettle, I believe, that you actually brew the tea in, and it's a glass kettle. And eventually I'd like to get one, but they're pretty expensive. Let's see. Jane asked me about my name. Yes, you're right. My name is Marna. The reason why I went with Marnie, one, it is a nickname. I have a friend who lives in Iowa. She used to live here. We used to work together, and we used to babysit each other's kids. But she lives in Iowa now, which is where I came from. Well, I mean, I was born in here in Missouri. I was born in Jeff City, but I lived in Iowa for years, and I lived in Burlington, Iowa, which is close to Keokuk, Iowa, which is where she lives. And she's from here. So she lived out here for a while. In fact, she and her family lived in the neighborhood next to ours. And I would babysit her kids, and she would babysit my son. So anyway, she's back in Iowa. And she's always called me Marnie. I don't know how she started calling me that. But that's what she's always called me. My grandfather always called me Marnie. Excuse me. Yep, my grandfather always called me Marnie. I don't know why. It's just I always grew up hearing him call me that. I'd only ever known him to call me that until my friend in Iowa. But then, since I didn't really want, when I first started my channel, which was a little over a year ago, I didn't want family members to be able to find me real easily because I wasn't ready to talk about my channel. I wanted it to just be my thing. It was kind of like my getaway to be social, because I moved back here into this is my old high school room, and I'm going to be 52 in January, so that tells you how how old I am. So this was my bedroom in high school. So I moved back in here February of 2017. My mother had a massive stroke in January of 2017, so I moved back in here to help my dad take care of her. And it was every single day, all day long, 7 days a week. I didn't really have any time to myself. My only me time was when it was time to go to bed, and even then, that was iffy. More often than not, my dad would, I need you to come up and help me take care of your mother. Okay. So my only way of having a social life was social media. And I decided that's when I decided I wanted to start a channel to be able to connect with other people. Because when I, just being here all the time, I wasn't able to get out and talk to anybody. I mean, I'm not much of an outgoing person anyway. I like to be home. I like to just stay home. But having people to talk to on here, to have conversations with, that helped a lot. I just didn't get to go anywhere because I was here all the time taking care of my mother. Well, I mean, she passed away last December, 4 days before Christmas, so 2019 she passed away. And now I have all the time in the world. But anyway, so my reasoning for going with the name Marnie is because not a lot of people know me by that name, and I thought it would be less easy for family members to find me if I went by a different name, and that's why I did that. I tried to, I went for a long time without saying anything to family. I mean, I had told my son, but he kept it to himself. I didn't leave a link on Instagram for anyone to find me. I did not want any family members to find me. But now that's changed. That doesn't bother me now. So if, family members see it, videos of mine, that's fine. My niece also has a channel. My youngest niece, she's 10 years old and she plays guitar. And she also has a channel on here. So that is how I came to use that name. But my name is actually Marna. Yeah. Most people call me that, but a lot of people call me Marnie now too, and I'm used to it either way. It doesn't matter to me. Whichever you prefer, whichever sounds better to you. So I think that is all the questions for right now. I know I need to get to the comments, and I will try to get to all of them on the weekend. So that's going to do it for right now. I kind of like doing this. It's kind of neat, actually. But I'm going to go ahead and go for now. If you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate that. And I will see you next time.